Yeah.
You want to like him, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. We straight gangsters over here,
Straight
man.
gangsters. All right, it is a Wednesday night, and this is the Scout Team with Scout Team Sports. I am one of your gracious hosts, Loudbeard, and sitting right to my left is...
Yeah, that's right. It's Chris America coming to you live on Wednesday night. It is 7:30 or 7:34 on a Wednesday night on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. That means it's time for Scout Team Sports. And join with us is the one, the only... Hey guys, it's me, and Anthony's inner voice, his little feminine male aficionado. How's it going, fellas?
What's up, Anthony? It's good to hear you back on the show. We were worried you weren't going to be able to make it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Anthony couldn't make it, so he said, you know what, inner voice, why don't you go out and have fun on the radio with the fellas? And I said, of course.
Oh, man. You know,
I'm so glad Anthony's inner voice, his male aficionado side, is finally able to join the show.
Yeah, and, you know, Anthony wasn't able to make it tonight. He was going to try to call in. We haven't gotten an update from him. He may have been eaten by an alligator or something like that. But go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No. Maybe he was eaten by a semen hole. I don't know what he was eaten by.
Oh, no.
It's unbelievable.
Hey, don't talk about Anthony that way.
What are you talking about? I think with him not being here, it just makes it way too easy to make fun of the guy. And, you know, I just can't help my...
You couldn't possibly be any dumber.
I did not mean to hit that. I was trying to scroll through my soundboard, and apparently I messed up.
No, it's easy to make fun of Anthony to his face, behind his face, wherever.
It is. It's too easy. I'm kind of getting bored with it.
I'll make fun of him in a box. I'll make fun of him with a fox. I'll make fun of him over there. I'll make fun of him anywhere.
Hey, it's easy to do. All right, man. How are you doing tonight? You feeling good?
I'm feeling fantabulous.
All right, good to hear.
How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right. A couple things going on. This past weekend, I was up in South Carolina. Took Dee Dee up and actually moved her things into the dorm room.
Is it official now?
She's officially a college student, college athlete up there playing soccer up at Lander University. So congratulations to her. Exciting moving her up there, but man, I had a bonehead move for the weekend, I'll tell you.
What, did you accept the money that was paid for her services, like, in front of people? Like, you know you're supposed to take the money that the college gives you under the table. Like, you got to do it in, like, a seedy alley or something. You can't just do it out in the open at the student union.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the problem.
Oh, okay.
We got our money in a secret bag. He dropped.
Right.
Mark Emmert actually hand-delivered it.
Oh, Mark Emmert was the bag man. Wow, from the top.
We only go big. We go big or we go home.
Well,
and
he's
we didn't go home.
He's a fan of the show, so I can see why he would want to be the one to take care of that.
He sailed over in his golden yacht, which somehow has monster truck tires on it. It's really crazy looking.
Now, how ridiculous was his wink? I have a feeling he's one of those guys that, like, oversells the wink when he's, like, doing something he's not supposed to be doing.
You know, it was like a cartoon when it almost glistened. Like, you saw, like, stars around his eyes.
Was there,
so
like,
he
a
winked. Ding! Yeah, it was. It was magical, to say the least. And so we moved Dee Dee in. I had this bonehead move of the week.
Okay.
And you want to hear it?
The bonehead move of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I went to lunch with the wife, and so we're getting out of the car, and she's like, hey, man, we need to go ahead and grab the laptop because I'm worried someone's going to steal it out of the car. So normally I'm not taking a laptop in with me to lunch. It's in a bag. It's in a little carrying bag. So we set it over by the table. We get out of the car, or we get back into the car and forget the laptop at the restaurant in Georgia.
Oh, no.
And we drove up to South Carolina. We get to South Carolina and we say, oh, crap, 4.5 hours ago is the laptop. And so, one, we didn't know if someone stole it. Two, we had no idea if we were going to ever get it back. Three, we were flying back because we drove up her car to to decorate up her
Right.
dorm room and all that fun stuff. And so we have to call the restaurant. Luckily, they have it. They're charging us to ship it back to us. So
Which
right
is
now,
fair.
Which is fair. I'm okay with that. The fact that it's not stolen and everything ended okay is okay in my book.
Now, how much did they charge you to not release all those videos that you have on there?
We don't want to talk about that.
All right, we won't talk about it.
All right. So
You had to use all your bag money from Mark Emmert.
So right now the computer's not back. They shipped it out today.
Okay.
We should be getting it back here in the next few days. So I feel a little naked. I don't have the computer in front of me. I got the old pen and paper right here in front of me with all my notes. Going old school. Going old school, man.
Old school.
Yeah, but that was definitely the bonehead move of the week, man. I don't know what we were thinking or what I was thinking. I'm pretty sure I'm 100% to blame for this shenanigans, but
It's funny too because you were worried about somebody stealing it, which is a good concern. But like 95% of the time, nothing would have happened to your car. If you would've
probably
just, like, hid it under-
99.9%.
If you would have just like hid it under a blanket or something, it would have been fine.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to do that again. No, not happening.
Always trust other humanity before you trust yourself. That's what I always say.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you on
Was
that.
it unbelievable?
It was totally.
Your Honor, it was unbelievable. You understand?
You understand what I'm saying, Yana? Yana? You hear?
Let's get this out of the way first. What is completely unbelievable is Maryland president straight up owning what happened to that kid back in May, the death and everything. You don't ever see the president of a university or just like a CEO or anybody just come out and say, we accept legal and moral responsibility without a judge telling them they have to say that. Normally they're like, we're going to let this settle out in court, and usually they come to a settlement, and usually in that settlement they say, let's just keep it quiet. We'll say a vague we're sorry, but we never want to admit it. And I got to hand it to the University of Maryland president. I think it was a little bit forced. I think if ESPN doesn't come out with a report this weekend, they probably don't do it, but they still did. So I got to give kudos where kudos is due.
Yeah, 100%. I do believe that in a case where somebody dies, that this is more serious than anything else. We talk about these other situations when there's drugs and there's partying and there's all this bad stuff that happens in these universities, but you cannot undo the death of a young man like that. And there has to be somebody that takes responsibility for it. It's good to see that the president over at the University of Maryland has stepped up. I know there was a lot of talk about this over the past week. Durkin was on paid leave. He's going to be investigated.
Right.
The toxic culture in Maryland football has been under scrutiny, which some coaches are coming out and defending, saying it's more of, and some parents, I saw this, a parent of one of the players on the team said, this is a football culture. This isn't a toxic culture.
Right.
And you hear that and you say, that's good and all when it's tough. But when somebody dies, I don't care what the excuse is.
Yeah.
Now, if there is a medical condition that causes this, sometimes that can be a little bit different. But if there's anytime someone dies, I'm sorry. It's just you cannot make excuses for that. You cannot say things are okay or it's just the culture. Just get out of the way and say this is the tragedy, and we need to figure out how to make this never happen again.
Yeah, I mean, and he didn't die of like sickle cell anemia or a heart palpitation or anything else that is under. He died of heat exhaustion, a heat stroke.
Yeah, that's the worst way, man.
That's detectable. That's something a Cub Scout. I mean, I had to learn how to do that to get my first aid merit badge. How to identify heat exhaustion, heat stroke, all that stuff, and what to do with it. And they ignored all the signs. But there is some truth to that. I remember when I played football in high school back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I remember there were practices where the coach would say, hey, you don't get water until you get this right. And this is in Florida. And we have coaches back then, I mean, this is only 18 years ago, saying, oh, if you don't get, water is a privilege. It's not a necessity to life to some coaches. And that's what I think was happening over there. And some football teams have that culture. I don't believe all football teams have that culture, though.
No, I don't think they do, but it is, one, you're wearing, a lot of times in practices, you're wearing pads, you're extremely hot anyway. Right. The season is typically a fall season, so you start practicing and ramping up over the summer. And so right now, heat is just rampant everywhere. Here in Florida, it is unbelievably hot, whatever that word is. And people, I could see someone passing. Like I walk to get the mail and come home, and then I'm ready to. I'm drenched. I got to change. It's awful.
And I mean, you're now a father of a NCAA student athlete. You didn't drop her off this past week, thinking, hey, these coaches are going to end up killing my daughter one day.
Yeah,
so,
no.
So you got to assume that the parents of Jordan McNair did not send him to Maryland thinking, oh, this is gonna be the cause of like his end. Like these coaches that I'm entrusting, they're gonna be the reason why he dies. You never think that, and so for these coaches to break that family's trust and to break the trust of it's inexcusable. And clean house, man. Just kick them all out.
Yeah, and it's time. It's time to set the example. Show them that you mean business. That it's time to move on. Clean house, start fresh. Let's set that example.
And I'm tired of this excuse that you heard it with Urban Meyer, you're hearing it with DJ Durkin, you've heard it in other places like Rick Pitino, and they all these coaches are saying the same thing. I didn't know. You know what? Now it's time to tell these head coaches, you're the head coach. You're the person who runs this program. You need to make it your business to know. You need to know what's going on with your assistant coaches. You need to know what's going on with your practices, what's going on with your student lives. That's your job now. We need to give that responsibility to make sure that these head coaches don't get to say, hey, man, I didn't know, so you can't fire me. No, like DJ Durkin, it's your job to know what your strength and conditioning coach is doing.
100%, man.
That's your job.
You can't mess around with this stuff. Right. Hey, I wanted to talk about this. I know off the air you and I kind of text back and forth a little bit about this, but this has totally taken away everything that was going on with Urban Meyer. Like, this has overshadowed it. It became a bigger deal. And I think Urban Meyer's kind of skating free. Now, they haven't made judgment. I know this independent committee that had this 14-day timetable should be coming up this weekend, right? Friday, I think, is the 14th day.
I think Friday would be 14th day since,
Yeah, so this is going to come up. But the Maryland situation, which 10 times worse to me. Now, I do not want to take domestic violence and make light of it. But I do think when somebody dies, that is something that is irreversible. At least with domestic violence, you can get help. Hopefully the injuries aren't bad enough where
Courtney Smith is going to see another day.
She's going to see another day.
Now, she's got a lot to work on, I'm sure.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Everything. So, but she can live another day where Jordan McNair is never coming back.
Correct.
His family, they're never going to see their son again. And we're both fathers. I cannot imagine what that's like. Like my son turns 10 at the end of the month. He died at 19. I can't imagine my son dying in 9 years.
Yeah.
I just don't. It's just nothing I want to think about.
No, it's absolutely nothing you want to do. Nothing you want to be. You want to happen to you or anybody you know, or you really don't want it to happen to anybody, for that matter. And when you get a situation like that, it has completely overshadowed the Urban Meyer situation. Urban Meyer kind of, I hate to say this, but is kind of getting a little lucky as far as I knew that there would be something else that came up. I didn't know it would be this bad, but something else would come up to take away the attention, and college football is going to move on. And I think this thing's going to just it's going to get swept under the rug. Not to make light of domestic violence, but I do think that because of everything else going on, Urban Meyer's going to be back, man. He's coming back.
I agree with you. I don't know if it has to do anything with what's going on with DJ Durkin. I think he obviously, Urban Meyer, that is, it helps that there's no new news. There's nothing really going on. I mean, you have a lot of defenders of Urban Meyer, a lot of defenders of Ohio State coming out, and they're saying all these kinds of stories like, oh, Courtney's mom said she lies and all this other stuff. But, I mean, obviously once Ohio State makes their announcement, that's going to jump Urban Meyer back to the forefront of the news and everything that's going on, especially now that we've hashed out this DJ Durkin thing for the last 2 or 3 days. I think now this story is going to kind of, I mean, this is the news cycle, man. It's just we give it 24, 48 hours of time, and then sadly we just move on. The next big thing comes up, you know?
Yeah, I mean, everything right now is at our fingertips with social media and just the speed of news that we are already moving on to the next thing before we even digest the first bit of news that comes in front of us. Kind of switch gears a little bit. Preseason is up here among us, and I want to talk a little bit with you about what's going on right now in the preseason because obviously with 1 week down in preseason, we can basically predict the entire season. Don't you
Yeah,
agree?
I mean, Baker Mayfield showed us that, number one, he deserved to be the number 1 overall pick, and number 2, he is going to be the rookie of the year for the offense. Without a doubt.
Son of a bitch. You have my notes written down in your head. I hate this.
I do. Well,
So-
because me and you were smart guys, we think alike, and we overreact alike, so it makes sense that we both say the same thing.
Well, I do have a little bit of a twist. Baker Mayfield and Saquon Barkley, offensive rookie of the year.
I mean,
because they both had amazing games. They're electric. They're
when
gonna
you have one great run,
That's all you
That's
need.
all you need.
That's all you
I
need.
need to know.
That's
Like,
more than the Giants had all last year. They didn't
Yeah.
have anything.
It's like when you're on Facebook and you already have like a preconceived belief, and then you see a meme that like agrees with you. You're like, I don't even need to see any more facts. This agrees with me, so it's got to be true.
Yeah, 100%, man.
So all these people already believe that Saquon Barkley was the best player of all time in the draft this year, and seeing that run just confirmed that belief for all of us.
Man, it's good stuff, man. Totally good stuff. I think Saquon, he's the legit real deal. 1 preseason game. He's shining above the rest. Baker Mayfield is on the next level. He's making Tom Brady look like a child out there on the field. This is the real deal. And this leads me to my next preseason bold prediction, and that is the Browns are officially now the AFC favorites.
Oh, without a
by
doubt.
far, yes. And you know what else? I saw this. Baker Mayfield, he said that Antonio Callaway has really earned his respect. He said he's worked hard all week after last week's drug situation. He worked his ass off all week, and he really earned his respect back.
And I think he deserves it. I know that this is like his 10th chance, but yeah, I think Callaway deserves it. I don't know what's going on with that clicking noise.
I don't either. I think it's mostly your mic. You hear it on mine?
I don't think so. Should I change mics? Do we have another mic?
Yeah. Oh, I don't have another mic.
I should have brought my backpack.
I think it's got to be a connection or something. I'll work on it for you. But, yeah, I don't know what the deal is there. All right, so listeners out there, sorry about the static. I know when we're talking Browns, everybody gets really excited. So if we have anything interfering with our Browns talk, we really get upset.
But I do have an overreaction that might hinder what we're talking about here.
Oh, I got several Browns ones, so you go with yours, and we're going to go back and forth Brown style.
Sam Darnold.
Oh, God.
Oh, man, the
no.
quarterback from USC.
Oh, we're going to have...
The one that everybody said was the best quarterback in the draft.
Yeah, Trico Rookie of the Years.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
Sam
by far.
Darnold lit it up.
Yeah.
Lighted it up or lit it up?
He lit it up, man. So Darnold lit it up, so they're definitely making the playoffs. But...
So are we thinking that the NFL is going to have to change the rules of the playoffs so that way Sam Darnold can play Baker Mayfield in the Super Bowl? I got to predict that, man.
Oh, that seems like a bold move. That's definitely
bold prediction. The Browns and Jets play so well, and they know that these are the biggest markets in the world. Like, there's no bigger cities than New York and Cleveland, right?
Yeah, but
so they got to remake the playoff rules so that the way the Jets and the Browns.
I don't know. Maybe you should cool your Jets because I don't know if you saw
Cool
this.
my Jets?
Yes. Coach Todd Bowles.
I see what you did there.
Yes. He gets pissed at Terrell Pryor. He gets really mad at him.
Yeah?
He tells him to shut up about discussing injuries to the media. Ooh, so now we have a coach and player situation that's negative, which means they could go 0-16. But with Sam Darnold's play and how amazing he's doing, they could go 16-0. So I'm kind of split. So maybe we're going to go 15-1.
So we have Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, yes.
With the New York Jets. We have Saquon Barkley with the New York Giants.
I mean, New York's lit right now.
We have the Baker Mayfield over in Cleveland. Is there another rookie that we're missing out on here that we're not overreacting to?
There is one.
Okay, who's that?
John Gruden, rookie coach for
rookie coach. Yes, you're right.
He's rookie coaching.
So with that said, I'm going to change my prediction. The NFL just abandons the playoffs altogether. They say college football does it right, and they ask the 13-member committee of the College Football Invitational, and they have them pick out the 4 best teams. And I think the College Football Committee chooses Oakland, Cleveland, New York, and New York for a 4-team playoff.
It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, the Raiders come in and win their first preseason game with John Gruden at the helm. I mean, we're basically going circa 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. John Gruden's at the height of his career. He's back. I mean, we need to get the Chucky dolls back. We need to bring the Raider Nation in and have them just going crazy because this team is legit. It doesn't even matter what players they have. Khalil Mack, I don't think he's signed back yet. It doesn't matter if you don't have your best player.
No, because Marshawn Lynch had a good run the other night.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
one good run.
Truly, he's back. We're back to the old Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I won't get fined.
So what if you have John Gruden as a coach and beast mode as a running back? Super Bowl. That's what you have. There is no way that team, I don't even know who else could be on that team that it would matter.
That would matter, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So that Super Bowl sounds like it would be out of this world, so they moved the Super Bowl from Atlanta to the moon.
Do they all have to wear space suits, or is everybody
the
suffocating?
the Space Force will be there to help that out.
Space Force helps. Now, here's a sad news for you. And, when we start getting into some of these sad preseason injuries, I have to mention this one. Ben Roethlisberger has been admitted to the concussion protocol. I'm sorry, Steelers fans. You're done for the season now.
Season's over.
Season's over. You don't have a chance. It doesn't matter if you sign Le'Veon Bell to a franchise tag. It doesn't matter what you have going on for you right now. Roethlisberger in the concussion protocol, it's done. It's over.
But wait, they have that guy from Oklahoma State, don't they?
Which one? Rudolph?
Rudolph.
Yeah. No, he sucks.
Are you sure? Because I remember one story about a Rudolph where everything looked bleak. It looked like Christmas was ruined because of a foggy day, but Santa turned to a guy named Rudolph, and he got the job done. I think this is going to be the second coming. I think we need to have a college football playoff expansion now. We need to go to 8 teams. 4 teams is just not going to be enough for this.
Yeah.
Rudolph, Saquon Barkley, John Gruden, Baker Mayfield, and Sam Darnold.
Well, you forgot one team.
Who's that?
There's another quarterback out there, a future MVP known as Blake Bortles.
Oh, yeah, it's Bortlemania.
Bortlesmania. You got Bortlesmania right now going on.
That.
And Jalen Ramsey, the Jaguars cornerback, who is suspended the first game of the season, he's already telling everybody who's going to be good and who's not. So he says Josh Allen, trash. Flacco, sucks. And they get this in a GQ article. And if it's written in the likes of an article by GQ,
right,
all of this is true. They would not publish anything that wasn't true. So
I mean, GQ
Flacco
stands
sucks.
for good quality, doesn't it?
Good quality.
Or is it great quality?
I don't know.
I'm going to go with great. If it's coming from Jalen Watkins or Jalen Ramsey, it's great quality.
You mean you don't think Josh Allen is trash, or you do? You think Ramsey's on board? I mean, he is a Florida State alumni, because I forgot to mention that, because that does kind of change things a little bit.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and he just got suspended for a week.
Yeah. So who's trash now?
Yeah.
But he's on the Jaguars with Blake Bortles.
How dumb
so how do I know which one to like?
I don't know, but how dumb is it that you're going to suspend a player during preseason? Like, really? Like, oh, we're going to punish you. You're not going to play in a preseason game, and you don't get to practice for a week.
Oh, man.
It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
But there was other bad news injury-wise.
Let's hear it.
Your boy Geis.
Oh, shit. You had to bring that. One's
I
like
had
a
to bring
real
that up.
problem.
That-
We're not even exaggerating here.
No, yeah.
Geis getting with the ACL. I was excited about him being running back for the Washington Redskins, and they lose their premier running back, their early draft pick, Darius Geis, in the preseason. There's always a couple guys that go down with these ACL tears in preseason. Man, it's tragic. Well, we're going to bounce back, though. Instead of going 16-0, we may be 15-1.
15-1?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't even say that with a straight face.
You're really thinking 14-2.
I'm a hopeless fan, man. I just want to see something. I'm almost like the Browns, where I think the Redskins should get those coolers with the locks on them, so that once we win the first game, we can unlock the Bud Light coolers and actually have a drink. Now, the Browns fans...
Now, is that really a win for Browns fans? Like, oh, we get to drink Bud Light.
It's like a consolation win of some sort.
Is it?
I think.
It's kind of like, hey, your team won, now drink piss.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I don't want to drink piss, Chris America. I don't want to.
Isn't there like a brewery in Cleveland that could have picked this up for them?
The Pittsburghers.
The Pittsburghers.
Done by Mark Wahlberg. All right,
You know they say in Cleveland, right? Flush twice. It's a long way to Pittsburgh.
Oh, dang, dude. You're killing me. All right, the other great new story coming out of preseason, and this hurts also as a Redskins fan, but my prediction last year was correct. Kirk Cousins is a top 5 quarterback. Him and the Vikings put up like 47 points. Now, a lot of that was second, third, fourth, and fifth string, but Kirk Cousins goes out there and dazzles. Big touchdown pass over to Stephon Diggs. They're already making a connection. I think there's going to be good things ahead in Minnesota this year. I think Minnesota's going to have a really good team. Great defense. Secondary's unbelievable. And now Kirk Cousins is going to be leading that offense. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, you know how they have those things on Twitter where you get to copy and paste it, and then you get to answer whatever the predetermined questions were. One of them was like, what's your favorite player, overrated player, that kind of thing. And I got to underrated player, and I picked Kirk Cousins as my underrated player. And our boys over there at Vegas Squares podcast,
Yep.
he's like, what do you mean he's underrated? And I was like, look, is he overpaid? Maybe. But he's underrated by people, I think. A lot of people think he's this trash quarterback. He's not any good. They pick him as like a 4th or 5th tier type quarterback, and I think that makes him underrated. I think he is 3rd to 2nd tier type quarterback. I think he can lead the Vikings to a Super Bowl run. I'm not going to say a win, but I think he can lead them deep into the playoffs with that defense, with those wide receivers and the offensive coordinator they have over there. I think he's good for another 4,500 yards this year. I'm calling it right now.
Nice. That's a good prediction. I do. I've always liked Kirk Cousins. I wish it would have worked out a little bit better in Washington. I do think that the whole system failed him over there. Now, the team around him was not very good. We brought in Terrell Pryor. Terrell Pryor's trash. And we didn't put any good weapons around him. We ended up losing weapons over the years instead of bringing additional weapons on. Jordan Reed always hurt. So now he's over there in Minnesota. He has the weapons he needs. They have a great offense. I think that Dalvin Cook being healthy is going to be a great kind of a nice stop valve for him because that guy can catch the ball out of the backfield. Yeah. Stephon Diggs had an amazing year last year. I think he's going to just do even better this year. He had Case Keenum thrown to him, and I think Cousins is better than Keenum, so it's got to just go up from here.
Now, Dalvin Cook was that running back that Anthony wanted Green Bay to pick, but they picked a cornerback instead, right?
Everybody that Anthony wanted the Packers to pick that wasn't a cornerback, they didn't pick because they picked so many cornerbacks.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a team draft so many cornerbacks. Every year. What do you do with all of them on your roster? You just keep cutting their bad ones, and you just keep redrafting bad cornerbacks.
I mean, the old saying goes, cornerbacks win championships.
You know
Isn't that the saying?
Yeah, it is.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That's right. Drafting cornerbacks 60% of the time. Good job, Green Bay. You keep up your good work over there. So I mentioned about the Browns being these AFC powerhouses.
Right. Baker Mayfield.
The Mayfield.
5,000 total yards, rushing and passing?
At least.
35 total touchdowns.
They're bringing in the big gun, Des Bryant. He's coming in tomorrow for the tryout. I think.
So he is actually going to go.
Yeah, I think they're going to sign him, but he's coming into Cleveland tomorrow for the big tryout. So they're bringing him in. I think that's going to happen. So that's bringing in a big offensive weapon for Mayfield. Also, Jarvis Landry. I talked about him on Hard Knocks. He was lighting up the rest of the team, trying to light a fire under their ass. He gets in a fight with one of his teammates in practice. You know what caused the fight? He took the ball and threw it at his teammate's head. I think he was so mad at him for not giving enough effort or for being a D-bag.
That's something my children do.
He took the ball and threw it at the player's head. And then the little skirmish that breaks out here in preseason. There's never an end to it. It's just they keep going at it, punching each other with their helmets on. I never got that. Like, why would you punch somebody with a helmet? Oh, I broke my hand. It's like ridiculous. What is the thought behind that?
I never read too much, though, into camp fights because it's kind of like when you get a roommate, you and your friend, everything seems cool when you first move in. Everything's great. And then 3-4 months down the road, he leaves that dish in the sink again for like the 500th time after you've told him. Eventually, y'all get in each other's nerves, and you're going to have a fight. Now, obviously, you're not going to throw a football at your roommate's head, who's your friend, but you're going to get in a little bit like, dude, I told you for the 500th time, like, wash your bowl when you're done eating. Like, put the milk away, that kind of stuff. So I feel like that's where camp fights come. I don't ever read too much into them.
I agree with that. I'm gonna go back to my college days. You made me think of a fun fight that happened at my apartment when my freshman year in college. A good friend of mine was living in the dorms. You know how they stick people in the dorms? You get like stuck with 3 other guys.
Yeah.
So 2 of them are you have one guy in your room, and then there's another room with 2 people, and you share a bathroom, whatever. So this guy had these other guys that I didn't know them. But he's like, oh, my roommates, they seem cool. Let's come over to your place. We're going to play Dreamcast or whatever was hot at the time. Tony Hawk. We're just having fun, having a few beers. All of a sudden, the 2 roommates start getting heated. They start getting in each other's faces. And I'm like, okay, cool, guys. It's cool. It's my apartment. Like, please, like, chill. One of them picks up a glass and throws it at the other one's head, smashes it on his head, like throws it across the room, hits him in the head, and blood gushes out of his forehead all over my carpet. Like, you're in an apartment. They're going to charge me for that.
Right.
And I'm 18 and I have no money. I'm working part-time and going to college. I was so pissed off.
Google wasn't around yet for you to be like, how do I get blood out of the carpet?
So we had to rush him to the emergency room. He gets like 7 stitches in his forehead. And ever since then, we called him anger management. The guy that threw it, we called anger management Steve because he could not control his temper. And I didn't know that. After that, I was like, maybe we shouldn't hang out with those guys again.
So I kind of had like a different. Nobody had to bleed or die out, but when I was in the Coast Guard, I went to my job training, MOS school or whatever, to become a boatswain's mate. And they roomed us with 4 guys in a barracks. And I don't remember who caused the mess or what. Our room wasn't that much of a mess, but this one guy just, like, lost it. So he gets, like, scotch tape, or not scotch tape, but, like, painter's tape. Goes to the store, buys, like, painter's tape, and tapes off the whole entire barracks to where it's like, oh, this is your space, and this is my space, and this is your space. And he would get mad if anybody's stuff came over, like, his line of tape. So, like, my bed and his bed, like, the foot of the beds, like, came close to, like towards each other. And we had to put our laundry bag, like, tie it off on the end. And my laundry bag was, like the corner of it was over the tape, and he, like, got mad and stuff. So then one day, they do, you know how they do, like, boot camp, they do, like, inspections. They do it at your job training as well. And so while we're after class, we're out doing our PT or whatever, the leader or the teacher or whatever, they're not called like company commanders. I don't remember what we called them back then, but they're like, these 2 are these like rooms. We call it your room number. You got to stay behind. So they call out our room number, and we had to do extra PT because there was a pair of underwear left on our bathroom sink, and it was the guy who flipped his lid and taped off everybody's room, left his underwear on the bathroom sink. I'm like, dude, that's where I brush my teeth.
Oh God,
You're
yeah,
getting upset
that's what I was
about
thinking,
my
man.
laundry bag on your side,
dude.
and you're like you're leaving your dirty ass underwear.
What do you do
on the bathroom sink
to leave your underwear on the sink?
I guess he was taking a shower, took them off, and just dropped them on the sink,
dude.
man, and then just left them there.
Man, there's something wrong with that.
People are crazy, man.
People are crazy. All right, so a lot of stuff going on there in preseason. I'm sure we can talk a little bit of NFL here a little bit later, but we got some other news coming up. But before we do all that, we're going to have a quick commercial break. I do want to mention a couple things coming up exciting for the Scout team. Number 1 and first and foremost, we are starting August 27th, our very own Monday through Friday daily show. It's going to be airing every Monday through Friday on 12-ounce sports radio. That is 12ozsportsradio.com. You can listen through 12-ounce sports radio, or you can download the TuneIn app and search 12-ounce sports radio, and you can always listen to us Monday through Friday. We're going to air at 6 a.m. and at 11 a.m., so we're going to get great times for both the drive time for East Coast, West Coast, Central, and maybe even Africa. And we are also... We love to get social with you guys. If you're listening in, make sure you hit us up on Twitter at Scout Team Radio, on Facebook at Scout Team Radio, or on Instagram at Scout Team Radio. We are all over the place. Hit us up. We love to share information. We love to talk with our listeners. It's a good time. Make sure you check that out. And lastly, but not leastly, commercial for you guys. We'll be back in just a couple minutes to discuss one of the greatest Americans and what momentous occasion just happened for him. All right, be back in just a second.
Did you know 40 points on your credit score could cost you $40,000 on a mortgage? Thankfully, Lexington Law is here to help. Since 1991, Lexington Law has helped over 500,000 customers take action on their credit reports. Call 877-910-7472 to talk to a repair specialist now. Personalized credit consultation is free. Getting access to your report is free, plus free score evaluation with a recommended solution. Call now and get on the path to recovery. Call Lexington Law at 877-910-7472. That's 877-910-7472.
When I'm working hard, I build up a thirst for sports. That's when I grab a cold 12-ounce sports radio. 12-ounce sports radio. Quench your sports thirst.
Scout Team listeners and friends of the show, I've got something special for you. It looks like 12-ounce sports radio has done it again. We have partnered with Rally House. You just go to the website 12ozsportsradio.com. Click on the banner on the right side of the page, and it will take you directly to Rally House. Rally House has some of the greatest, most unique sports items for that diehard fan, casual fan, and anybody and everybody out there that is special in your life. So go ahead and check it out. Once again, go to that website, 12ozsportsradio.com. Click on the banner to the right of the page, and you will get taken to the best sports merchandise website on all of the interweb. Do you own a small business? Are you looking for solutions to all of your communications, problems, and challenges that you have? Check out Ring Central. Give them a call. They have partnered with 12ouncesportsradio.com to give you the best rates on all of your business and office solutions for communication. Give them a call today. We have a dedicated line for all of the 12-ounce sports radio listeners. It is 1-877-779-3860. You will get a representative on the phone who will help you with all of your small business communications needs. Once again, give them a call today. 1-877-779-3860.
Ring Central features all-in-one phone, messaging, and video conferencing. It's easy to use with unparalleled security. Ring Central simplifies things so you can grow. Call Ring Central to speak with a representative about a price for your growing business at 877-779-3860. Again, that's 877-779-3860.
Oh, it's summertime. And what's that mean? We're all heading off to the golf course. But don't go too fast. Make sure you go to 12ouncesportsradio.com and book a tee time. At the bottom of any page, you'll see Book Like a Pro. Click that banner, enter your course of choice or zip code, find a tee time you like, book that tee time, and you'll get up to 50% off, courtesy of 12-ounce sports radio. Book like a pro, even if you don't play like one.
Yay, we are back. And I was talking about the greatest American having a birthday coming up, but I will get to that in just a second. I have some breaking news that just came across the wire. Chris America, you and I had both been privy to some great information that just came across. I'm going to hand this off to you because you know what I'm talking about. All right. Thanks for turning your mic on. Every
time. You would think I would figure it out by now, but
60% of the time it works.
Every time. Yeah, so a little bit of exciting news. I'm not 100% sure on the details, So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tune in to 12ouncesportsradio.com on Friday at 1 o'clock. That's the Hefe. That's his show, Jeff Beck's Work Week in Review. He can give you the full-on details there. But a little birdie told me that Sports Radio America and 12ouncesportsradio.com have joined in a mutual relationship to share some shows. I know we're getting Clutch Talk Sports. They're going to air their show onto our station. And we're going to try to get some of our shows onto Scout Team or Sports Radio America. I'll get all these names figured out.
Scout, Sports, America.
This is
Loud.
This is why I can only
Lamp.
have two.
I love Lamp.
This is why I can only have two kids. Anymore, I would just be getting their names confused all the time. They think Daddy doesn't love them.
And every Tuesday, the great Memphis Spence, who is a big fan of the show, and we are a big fan of his show, he has the College Credit Hour that will be airing every Tuesday. So we're excited to be all about Sports Radio America and having that partnership that's going to really just grow all of the great 12-ounce sports radio shows that are out there. We're great friends with the good guys over at Reality Check-In, at Rehab Sports Guys, Craft Brewed Sports, We Talk Sports Good. There are so many great shows out there, and the man that brings it all, brings everybody together, the Hefe, him and his Beck's Work Week in Review on Fridays. I mean, these shows are just absolutely electric. That was a old BSR reference. You caught on up with that?
It is electric.
All right. I like it. Now we're going to do the dumpster fire of the week. Nah, just kidding. Not doing that. All right, so I wanted to talk about the greatest American that I know and having a birthday. And, you know, I missed this by a day, but that's okay because I think I'm splitting them down the middle. There's two great Americans that I know. One is the immortal Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow, happy birthday, buddy. It was his birthday yesterday.
It was his birthday yesterday. And the other birthday that I am speaking of is Mr. Chris America. Your birthday is tomorrow. See, I'm splitting the difference. So happy birthday to you, sir. I hope Miss America is listening right now because she's got very high expectations going on because Tim Tebow, this was from UPI. I don't even know what it is, some internet broadcasting thing, whatever. Alex Butler from UPI. I'm sure you're a great journalist, but whatever. Tim Tebow is officially dating Miss Universe 2017. Yeah, we broke that news last week. It's okay, though. Lee Nell Peters, the former Heisman Trophy winner. We know that also. Okay, but I continue. NFL quarterback turned baseball prospect. Not prospect. He's an all-star in AA. Give him some more credit than that. Celebrated his 31st birthday on Tuesday. Yes, the man, the myth, the legend, Timothy Richard Tebow is now 31 years old, and he is a baseball aficionado. Happy birthday, Timmy, his girlfriend Nell Peters wrote on Instagram. Well, that was very nice of her, including a photo of herself with Tebow. Classy. And this is the caption she also adds. You are such a bright light in so many people's lives. Have the best day ever. Oh, isn't that sweet? You know, I like to talk about Tim Tebow because he is a great American. But this photo had more than 120,000 likes as of Wednesday morning.
That seems a little low.
Yeah, that was just after one day. Maybe now it's got 500,000.
Probably 5 million.
5 trillion. And it also featured more than 1,000 comments, including some celebrities and Tim Tebow's brother, Robbie Tebow.
Robbie
Tebow posted several heart emojis, and one of them had comments. And that's the end of the story. This was breaking news by Alex Butler at UPI. Normally, I wouldn't break her news or his news. It could be either or. It's Alexandra or Alexander. Which one do you think it is?
Alexandra.
I'm going Alexandra. So we're going
Alexandria.
Oh, that's a twist. And so this was great breaking news. I know all of our fans out there are all big Tim Tebow fans. You know, Tim Tebow back in the day when he was playing for the Florida Gators was a legend, and nothing has changed since then. So we're definitely making all that work out. So it is a good thing that we've got going on. Oh, man, I feel like the phone's ringing in the background. We're getting lit up today. What's up? All right, so moving on from Timothy Richard Tebow, even though I never want to move on from him because he really lights up the room. He puts a smile on my face, and he's an all-around good guy. So we're going to go ahead and move on from Tim Tebow reluctantly. And
I kind of have some Tebow-related news that's kind of sad.
Oh, no, not sad news. But it's Tebow news nonetheless.
It is Tebow news. So my mom has had a dog since 2006. She wanted to name it Roscoe. I said, don't name it something stupid like that. Name it Tebow. Unfortunately, she had to put him down on Monday. And
right before his birthday.
Yeah, and then I had to bury him yesterday on his birthday. So
man, I knew something was up with you.
Rest in peace, Tebow.
Oh, that hurts.
It was kind of weird because my mom made this post that said, "Thank you, Chris, for burying Tebow." And if you didn't know that my mom had a dog named Tebow, it sounds like I went out and murdered Tim Tebow and disposed of his body.
Is that why people were picketing outside the studio today when you rolled up? I was wondering what the public outcry was. I did not realize that the world was believing that you had murdered Tim Tebow and buried him. It was really just your dog. And it's a sad story nonetheless. You got to be nice with dogs. It reminds me of a story that Anthony had with his dog.
Yeah? What is that?
There was a Facebook post. It was one of those time jump things. I don't know if you ever have those situations when you have a time hop. But his dog was sitting there looking up with him and with these pouty dog eyes and looking real nice. And Anthony posted, "Dog, you ain't getting a cookie." I said, "Anthony, you heartless SOB. Give your damn dog a cookie." I mean, everybody knows that his dog deserves a cookie because that's a really nice dog. And I think Anthony just wasn't giving the love to his dog like he deserved. So think about it, Anthony. Mr. Chris America had to bury Tim Tebow, the dog, the other night. You've got to appreciate the dog that you have because it is important to cherish the ones we love.
Yeah, you never know when the dog is going to go. So
Yeah. And you may have heard that or not because he was off the mic, but no. Dang. You're trying to make it work, huh? So we're working on some of the phone lines. I got a little issue with my phone, so we're going to hook it up to the Google Voice. Google does everything. It's one of the greatest devices ever known to man, and I think we're going to get this figured out here shortly. But before we do that, I will talk about some stories that really mean a lot to me. There was a story going on out there. The Columbus Crew, one of the MLS teams, I guess they're having some issues, ownership issues. They're worried about the team folding. They're worried about a lot of different things going on. I don't know I kind of hear that. I think we just got to volume it up a little bit, Hold on 1 second. I had turned it down. There you go.
Hello. There we go.
All right, we're good. We're good. All right, so I'm glad we got that set up. So now we're back.
We are 1,000% professional, and I know Sports Radio America is going to love our professionalism when it comes to setting stuff up on the radio.
I agree. Hey, Chris America, I'm going to ask you to do one. Is there seems to be a problem coming in? Dun dun dun. All right, so moving on. Marky Mark has come in, and he has said that he would love to save the Columbus Crew, and if he could save the Columbus Crew, he will. And so a lot of people are getting excited over there in Ohio because Ohio does not have a lot of things to get excited about. LeBron James leaves. The Cleveland Browns, not that they're garbage.
No, but they have Baker Mayfield now. We already discussed that.
Yeah, that's right. But, Marky Mark stepping in and owning the Columbus Crew will help out that soccer team tremendously. As Americans know, youth soccer is the number one youth sport. Soccer is one of the fastest growing sports in all of the America and the biggest sport worldwide. So seeing it grow in the States is a great thing. Now, I don't know if it will ever beat football in America, but if Ben Roethlisberger keeps getting concussions, we're definitely down the road that football's going to die soon. And if that happens, we need a owner like Mark Wahlberg. I'm already still disappointed that P. Diddy did not pull together his resources and actually put in a big, good bid for the Carolina Panthers. That still kind of sits in my crawl a little bit. Like, I'm a little disappointed that didn't happen.
I will be disappointed, though, if Mark Wahlberg buys the team and the Funky Bunch aren't involved.
Oh, yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Like, he needs to have the Funky Bunch involved. Otherwise, I'm not interested.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
On this call-in line that we're working on,
yeah.
Can two people call in at the same time?
Well, they can call. I don't know. Why? Do you need two people to call?
Yeah.
How many?
Two.
Can they be on the same phone?
I think so. I don't know. Like I thought I was just doing it on my phone, but since I lost my adapter, which is all my fault, I take full responsibility for that because we're professionals. And
well, it's iPhone's fault. Like Apple, what are you doing needing us to have some little tiny adapter that you're supposed to keep track of all the time so you can hook your headphones in and everything else? Like, what the hell, Apple? Like, seriously.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% on with that. So I want to give the guys from We Talk Sports Good the phone number to call in instead of my phone since I lost the adapter. And the two of them are going to call in, which is great. Right before usually they're calling in about 8:45, hyping up their show that comes on tonight at 9:30. So if you're listening right now on 12 Ounce Sports Radio, make sure you catch them at 9:30. They have dynamic show, really great information. These guys are super knowledgeable, talking a lot of great stuff each and every week. So we want to make sure that you guys are listening into them. And we're going to go ahead and have them on here in a few minutes, but I just got to make sure I get the number right to them. So you want to text them real quick?
I already sent them a message.
Oh, did you? Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh.
We're on top of things here.
Oh, good. It's nice when we have we can work together. Anthony, thank you for your help. We appreciate that. You're always one of the best helpers around that we know of. And so, with all that being said, I don't know if you heard this or not. There was this really, really small story over the weekend that nobody paid any attention to, but it caught my eye. And Tiger Woods is back, bitches.
He is back.
That's right. Tiger Woods is back. Second place is the first loser, but in this case, hell yeah, man. He is one step closer to winning a championship, another major. Sunday was just a lot of fun to watch and see him in contention. Obviously, Brooks Koepka won. Now, I do have some beef with Brooks Koepka. Chris America, you want me to tell the fans what my beef is with Brooks Koepka?
My beef is he's a Florida State Seminole.
All right, well, I didn't even know that. Now I'm really pissed off at this dude.
Yeah.
So, when you're watching golf and you have your significant other with you, you don't want her like looking up at the screen and saying, "Oh man, he doesn't look like the typical golfer. Look, he's buff,
yeah,
and he looks good." And I turned to her and I said, "Don't you ever say that about another man?
Yeah,
just because he's a damn good-looking man, he's very toned. He keeps really great shape. He keeps himself in really great shape. He's got a nice tan. God damn it, Brooks Koepka. Now you're winning championships and you're an amazingly good-looking dude." And my wife was commenting on it. I can't stand for that. And you're an FSU alumni. Like, this guy is quickly becoming my arch nemesis.
I don't know. I'm looking at him now. I think he's kind of a butt his face.
Whatever. I don't know. I can't judge men. Where's Anthony when you need him?
Hey, guys. It's me, Anthony, the male aficionado.
Hey, Anthony. Hey, I really need you to chime in. Brooks Koepka.
Florida State Seminole. Go Noles.
Do you think this guy is a good-looking dude or what?
I think this guy would look so fabulous if he got that garnet and gold glitter. You know how you see that at all the games, and they're looking so fabulous, doing the tomahawk chop, saying, "Go Noles." I think Brooks Koepka would look so fabulous just like that.
Oh, I knew it. This is my problem. I turned over to my wife, or I look over at her, and I said, you can just stop rubbing it in that this great-looking guy is on the TV winning championships. I don't need to see that. Also, speaking of good-looking guys, Tiger Woods, not as good-looking as he used to be, but he likes to look around at the women when he's on the golf course. Did you see that picture floating around?
Yeah, I saw the women looking at him.
Yeah. He's still getting tail. I'm just throwing that out
without
there.
Without a doubt.
This dude, 7 women a night, at least, minimum.
And that could be why he's back to being Tiger Woods.
He finally got his mojo back. He's like, wait a second. I'm not married anymore. I'm single. I've got all this money, even though I paid like $500 million in a settlement with my wife when we got divorced and child support and all that stuff. He still has a lot of freaking money, and he can do whatever he wants, and he's Tiger Woods. Dude's got it all going on, man. Now, the only thing is I think Brooks Koepka might be his kryptonite.
Yeah,
I mean,
this guy is what Tiger Woods was 15 years ago. Strong guy, the strongest guy in the course. That's what Tiger Woods was. He was jacked, confident. He would outdrive everybody. That's what Koepka's been doing, just sinking putts when he needs to. Tiger had 2 putts that were literally centimeters off. One that stopped right at the hole.
Ooh, that one hurt.
And then the other one that lipped out. And if he would have sunk both of those putts, we would have had an amazing playoff. But listen, everybody's complaining like, oh, Koepka won his third out of his last 6 starts in a major. Why is nobody talking about him? Because Tiger Woods still transcends golf. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. And Koepka, I think they said something about with Koepka's win, he's now made more money combined in purse earnings than I think Gary Player and Arnold Palmer combined. And you know who they have to thank for that?
Tiger Woods. Absolutely.
So he should be, every time he wants to complain about Tiger Woods, he should check his bank account and say, thank you, Tiger. Thank you for making golf what it is today so that I can make millions of dollars doing it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get your mind off of Koepka. I came up with a new fun segment that I wanted to try out with you. It's going to be called we're going to put on a Scout Team Radio Promotions concert, okay? You're the Scout Team Radio concert manager, and I'm going to give you 4 band names, and you got to cut one. You got to make one your opening band, one your second act, and then your 4th one you got to make your headliner, okay?
All right.
So I'm going to give you 4 band names. They're all going to be punk rock bands, okay?
All right, I can dig it.
So you going to write these down?
Writing them down, right?
All right,
okay.
so for the Scout Team Radio presents Punkapalooza.
Got it. Punkapalooza.
Punkapalooza, you have to choose between Blink-182.
All right. Got it.
Sum 41.
Okay. Go ahead.
Offspring.
Mm-hmm.
And Green Day.
All right.
One of the bands you got to cut completely. You can't sign all 4 bands. And then you got to put the other ones as opening act, second act, and headlining.
All right, we're cutting Sum 41 off the top.
Right out of the way? Really?
Yeah, I don't like Sum 41.
Not at all?
I thought they were more poser than punk, and they're gone. Sorry. Peace. You're out.
Man, Sum 41's got no love.
All right, now Green Day, Offspring, and Blink-182.
So those are your 3 acts.
This is a great lineup. One, this is going to be the greatest concert ever known to man, also known as Warped Tour. So we're going to go.
Well, we're going with Scout Team Radio Punkapalooza.
Scout Tour. Ooh, gosh. I think I'm going to have to we'll start out with Offspring opening up.
Okay.
I like them. They're a good opening band. They're going to bring people in. They want to hear Bad Habit.
Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
They come out and play. I like the older stuff.
Nah, why don't you get a job? My man's got a girlfriend and he hates that bitch.
He tells me every day. Okay, I can't sing. Sorry. Yeah, so you're going to have a little bit of that poppy punk from the later Offspring, and then you're also going to have some of that earlier, a little bit more hardcore punk.
So you got to start, I think the band should start off with the hardcore stuff, and then they got to work their way up to the poppy stuff, because the next 2 bands you're going to name are more of the poppy side.
Right, and Blink-182, to me, was, when I graduated in 2000, I graduated high school, man, they were huge then, and they were huge in the late 90s, 98, 99. When Dude Ranch came out, that album was just all over America.
Yeah.
It was, some of the songs were in American Pie. That was kind of like that summer vibe going on. And
they were kind of like the anti-rap rock movement that was also going on at that time.
Right. The
with
Limp
your
Bizkits
Korn,
and
your
stuff.
Limp Bizkit,
Yeah.
So they were kind of the anti-that.
Yeah, I've cut Fred Durst already, too. And so...
Fred Durst, you have signs around that says, do not even let this guy in. It's a picture of Fred Durst and your boy Justin Bieber.
Oh, and Tyra Banks, too.
In fact, your sign says, if Justin Bieber tries to get in, let me know so I can come punch him in the throat.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. So we're going to open it up with Offspring. We're going to lead into Blink-182.
Okay, so Blink-182 is your second act.
To me, Green Day, these guys are legends.
Right.
They started out very garage band punk, and then once Dookie came out, they just blew up. And the Dookie album, to me, is one of the greatest albums in the history of the alternative punk rock genre. And so to me, number 1 has got to be Green Day. They would be my headlining act. Man, those guys, and they've done it for so long, they're still relevant, which is unbelievable.
30 years later.
Yeah, I mean, and they keep it cool. It's hard to be an old man and be cool. Trust me, I have that problem all the time. And these guys they're still cool. They're still doing their thing, and I absolutely love Green Day. So Offspring, Blink-182, and then Green Day would be my big-time closing act. And, at the end, they would not play one of their great songs, and then, the crowd would chant encore, and then they would come back out for that last song.
Right.
Yeah.
So Dookie album was actually the first CD that I ever owned.
Yeah,
I remember getting that for my birthday.
Yeah, the
Dookie album CD.
That's a good first one. I remember going when I first got CDs. Like I got 2, and it was Soundgarden, Super Unknown, and Nirvana, Nevermind. Those were my first 2 CDs.
Now, see, next week I'm gonna have to bring in Soundgarden, Nirvana, and then I'll pick 2 other bands and see where you go with them.
No, I like this. This is a fun segment. This would be a great segment to add to our morning show once a week.
Yeah,
it's probably gonna happen.
It might happen.
It could happen.
We're gonna make it all kinds of different things. We're gonna make it sports. I was thinking like if you had to do like a coaching seminar and you had, let's say, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, who else can we throw in there? The Dallas Cowboys, because Jimmy Johnson
or Dabo Sweeney.
Like, who are you cutting and that kind of thing. But we won't go into that now.
Jimmy Johnson.
You're cutting Jimmy Johnson?
No,
he's
one
of the
Jimmy
best
Johnson.
coaches of all time. I think
he is.
I mean, you win 1 national championship and you win 2 Super Bowls. And both of the Miami Hurricanes, he kind of picked up. They were already a well-oiled machine. But when he went to the Cowboys were garbage.
Yeah, and Jerry Jones was pulling the strings, so that's one of the reasons why he left.
Well, because he was getting all of the like glory. Jimmy Johnson was, and what's his name? Jim. Why can't I think of his name right now?
Jimmy Johnson?
No,
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones. I was thinking
Barry
Jim
Switzer.
Jones, but Jimmy Jones was
Barry Switzer.
But Jim Jones couldn't. Jerry Jones couldn't handle it.
You can't handle this, man.
Jerry Jones wanted to be the guy in Dallas, so he told him he had to go.
All right.
Brought in Barry Switzer.
I got a couple last little tidbits to go over. We are going to have the guys from We Talk Sports Good on here in a little bit. So when we do, I'm sure they're going to have some great stuff they want to talk about. But another thing I want to just mention here, and that was a great segment, Chris. I appreciate you coming in with that. That was awesome. But Kyle Kuzma, player over there with the Lakers, he comes out and says people are underestimating the Lakers this year. Do you think, reading between the lines, that he is trying to tell everybody Lonzo Ball is going to be the next MVP?
He said what now?
People are underestimating the Lakers this year.
How do you underestimate a team with LeBron James? Other than the fact that they're saying that he's not going to win the finals.
That's why. I mean, you've got so much heat out there. C.J. McCollum, he was under the spotlight a couple weeks ago because he had that Twitter beef with Kevin Durant. I don't know if you remember that, but he the other day was on, it looked like it was like an Asian television station. I don't know if it was Chinese, Japanese, whatever it was, but he was talking about the NBA, and he came out and said he thinks it's absolutely disgusting what the Warriors are doing, where these players are going and playing for the Warriors. I think he was specifically talking about DeMarcus Cousins and probably also throwing a little slight at Kevin Durant after they had that beef earlier, a couple weeks ago. So C.J. McCollum, one, he's got a podcast out there, so I feel like he's like a brethren, us podcasters / live radio guys. We put in a lot of hard work. Most of us have day jobs, and we spend hours and hours at night perfecting our craft. And we're going here on the scout team. We're going daily, and I have a lot of respect for C.J. McCollum. Now, his podcast might have a few more listeners because he's an NBA basketball player, so he's got a built-in fan base.
But I feel like it's only by like 5.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be by a lot. Obviously, we've got a pretty strong fan base, and we appreciate all of our listeners out there. We love you guys. But C.J. McCollum, yeah, man, I feel you, but dude, maybe you should shut up. Maybe poking the Hornets' nest, giving the Warriors some heat is maybe not the best move. Though you're right, I think it's disgusting too. I think nobody is excited about this upcoming NBA season because it's almost a foregone conclusion that the Warriors are going to win, kind of like the last couple years. I hope the Rockets keep it together and give them a run for their money. I still believe if Chris Paul did not get hurt, they beat the Warriors this year.
I think so too, yeah.
I think that hurt so bad when Chris Paul was out. They needed him. Now, Chris Paul had done that for the Clippers a couple years where he just can't stay on the court in the most pivotal moments. So the Warriors deserved what they did. I also think that travesty in Game 1 against the Cavs, that tipped the whole scales. If the Cavs would have come out and won Game 1, they may have made that a little bit more of an interesting series. Probably not going to beat them, but C.J. McCollum out there, I guess keep throwing shade on everybody. Do your thing, player. Good to see that you're throwing some shade on the Warriors. And then if we're going to talk NBA, I just want to do one last quick NBA thing. I know we're kind of NBAing it out because it is the offseason and we shouldn't be talking about NBA because college football's coming back soon, and the Scout team has an event coming up. It is going to be August 30th. We are doing a UCF pregame / watch party. It's going to be at the Red Eye Sports Tavern in Winter Springs, Florida. We are extremely excited to host our first big-time event. We want all of our listeners in the local area to come out and support us. We want all of our friends, all of our family, just to come out and see what we're doing. And we're going to have some swag to give away, some hardcore swag.
We also have game tickets to give away.
Ooh, what?
So we're going to give away a UCF home game ticket. So if you're in the Orlando area, make sure you come out to Red Eye Sports Tavern out in Winter Springs. You can Google it. It's off of 434 down in Winter Springs. It'll be a fun time, and I'm excited.
You should be excited. I'm excited.
I'm hoping
Anthony, are you excited?
Oh, yeah, guys. I can't
Hey,
wait.
guys.
It's going to be so fabulous.
It's going to be fabulous.
Yeah, I hope UCF puts up like 5 or 6 touchdowns, or maybe 7, 500 yards of total offense.
If this is 48-7, it's a victory. I mean, it's literally a victory and figuratively a victory. I've been a diehard UCF fan for a very long time. Graduated UCF in 2004, so I am an alumni. I was and I did mention this the other day, the intramural disc golf champion at UCF. So I have a place there at UCF, and UCF has a place here in my heart. And I want to see UCF come out and rock this season. Mackenzie Milton, Heisman hopeful already this early in the season, so he's got to put up big numbers to make sure he stays in that conversation. And let's see what happens. Going up against UConn, a few years back, there was that civil conflict that was going on. The UConn coach wanted to try to make a rivalry with UCF. UCF wasn't having anything of it, and they wiped the floor with the good old UConn Huskies. So we're bringing back the civil conflict. We're going to make this a thing.
I don't see that changing really either between UCF and UConn. I think UCF is just going to smoke them.
It. Oh, guess what?
What's that?
The Hefe is going to donate a 12-ounce sweatshirt for the watch party.
Yeah!
That's great because it's 99 degrees outside. But we appreciate that, Jeff. You are such a great guy, man. And 12-Ounce Sports Radio, this is the station we're on because we love what the Hefe is doing. We love all of the other shows out there, and we just encourage you guys, listen to all these great shows. Support the local radio, the small internet radio. Support all of that. The Sports Turd, they think they're great, and they got all these podcasts out there with all these professionals. You know what? You guys are lame. Get over yourselves. We're better. Screw you. That's all I got on that.
We may or may not fidget with how our phone calls work while we're live on air and then question why our microphones have a little bit of static. But other than that, we are just like those guys.
But,
if not better.
I mean, they definitely have a team of like 35 dudes like sitting in the background. Then they're firing on-air talent because they're struggling. And Disney owns them.
And then that guy that gets fired breaks one of the biggest stories of the century of Ohio State and Urban Meyer. And
I mean, the Sports Turd, you need to get your act together.
Yeah.
We're tired of you and your shenanigans.
And you know what else they're missing? They're missing Anthony, the male aficionado.
It's raining men.
Hallelujah.
It's a raining man.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
I had something I was going to say. Oh, the sweatshirt thing. Don't knock on Jeff too bad. You know that there are tons of people out there that work in cold offices where they set the temperature to 60 degrees year-round. So a lot of people do wear sweatshirts in the summertime in Florida.
That's true. I used to work in retail, and whenever I had to work in the freezer-cooler section, I was hoping that I had a sweatshirt in my car. Yeah, so I would have to keep one with me. So, yeah, you always need a sweatshirt. And honestly, in the wintertime in Florida, a sweatshirt's perfect. You don't need a big coat.
No.
You don't need any.
You don't need a parka.
Yeah, you don't need any of that craziness. What you need is a nice sweatshirt, one that specifically says 12-Ounce Sports Radio on it, because our listeners love going to 12ouncesportsradio.com. We're an up-and-coming radio station, and we want the world to know it, so let's represent. So we're going to have a sweatshirt to give away. We're going to have T-shirts that are Scout Team Radio T-shirts. We're going to have stickers. We're going to have all kinds of swag. And The guys over at Vegas Squares, they helped us out getting these UCF tickets.
Yeah, shout out to those guys.
Big shout
We
out to those
appreciate that.
guys. Another show that plays on 12 Ounce Sports Radio. They're not exclusive, but they are a great partner with 12 Ounce Sports Radio. So good guys over there at Vegas Squares. So thank you to them for go ahead and letting us have those tickets. So we greatly appreciate that. So good stuff there. All right, last thing, and I hate to mention this because I feel like it's old news, but Melo finally signs with the Rockets, and he is going to be, from what's reported, probably coming off the bench. I think
which is perfect.
I think it's perfect too, but I have a feeling he's probably a little reluctant. But they probably said, "Hey, if you want to sign with us, you got to know that your role is probably going to be 15 to 20 minutes a game. Come in as a spark plug off the bench. We just need a guy that can score when we start maybe getting stuck a little bit."
Now, what is his role on Team USA? Because I feel like that's his role on Team USA, is it not? Isn't it just to kind of like take on that mentality, Carmelo, that, I mean, you've won more gold medals than any other basketball player of all time, and it's always got to come at like a diminished role. Like when he's on teams with LeBron James and Kevin Durant and all those other guys, he's not the it guy on the team. So just take that Team USA mentality that you've had the last several Olympics and roll with it, man. Just suck up your pride, man, and you can help a team win an NBA championship.
No, I'd love for him to have a little bit of a resurgence. I thought last year in Oklahoma City it was going to be a good mix. It was not. But again, I want to see Houston beat the Warriors, so that would be something great to see.
I mean, he would be great coming off the bench. Maybe they're a little bit lethargic on offense. Just put Carmelo Anthony in there, have him make a couple of back-to-back three-pointers, get like a nice jump shot in there, and energize the team again, and then sit him down after Chris Paul and James Harden get a rest, and I think it'll be great if he can accept that role.
Yeah, that would be perfect. All right, the guys over from We Talk Sports Good will be calling in just a second, but before that, wait, I hear something. What's that? Ring ding dong. Chris doesn't remember how to answer the
hold
the
on,
computer.
there's two. Oops.
Oh, hung up.
I hung up on one, but I think we have one of the guys on the other line.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I think I canceled the other one. I don't know why it didn't let me accept the other call. So maybe you can text him.
Oh, that's Thomas. You don't need him. He's terrible.
Oh, man.
Wow,
Thomas
throwing shade on each other.
To defend himself.
I'm coming in hot, boys. I'm coming in real hot.
Coming in off the top rope.
Wow.
Yeah. We're not playing around today. You've had Dom. Dom's the calm one out of us. You're getting the dogs now.
There we go. I hear the phone. Is it going to let you pick
You're
it up?
already on another call. Please end the other call if you want to start this one. Yeah, it's not going to let me three-way.
Hey, have Thomas call you and merge the calls together, and we will.
Yeah, that'll work.
It's only gay in a three-way.
It's not gay if it's in a
I
three-way.
mean, is that what you said?
It's not gay if it's in a three-way. So if you can three-way call Thomas, that's how that this will work.
Yes.
On your phone.
Oh, that's what he's got to do.
Yeah, Tom's got to call.
So I need to call Thomas?
Yeah, you call him and then merge him in.
Okay.
All right. Look at that. We're technical geniuses
We
over
are
here.
technical geniuses.
The
so we'll be on hold and we'll do our radio show while you get us three-wayed in. I think he's already doing it. So we were talking about Carmelo
Is
Anthony.
this working?
Yes. Is Thomas there?
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
My gosh.
Hey, guys. How you guys doing tonight?
So like I was saying, Thomas is awful.
Oh, man. Well, are you going to stand by while your man calls you out like that, Thomas?
No, Brett. Listen, I've had enough of this short fat ass. I have enough of it. Yeah. That was below the belt. No, yeah, it was below the belt because you're talking crap where I can't even call.
Man,
we do that anyways. So sports, right?
I feel like he came in off the top rope like Randy Savage, and then my man Thomas was like Ric Flair, gave him the old low blow gut check.
Yeah, the
while the referee wasn't looking,
was distracted. All right, what do you guys got going on your show tonight? We're looking forward to listening in, so we want to hear what you guys will be talking about.
Yeah, so today we got a little Thomas and Dom are going to go over a little of the PGA stuff, a little bit of Tiger being back. He's back, baby. He's back. Oh, yeah. He's back. And then we got some training camp headline stuff. Let's see, we're probably going to go over a little NBA, a little MLB. Not much on the NBA because y'all talked about it already. Melo's signed, and he's going to score 2 points a game. And then, little NCAA football talk.
Nice.
And, of course, Thomas's tweets at the end. Of course, Thomas.
Oh, yeah, that's the highlight of the show. Now, did you guys what'd you guys do to celebrate Tim Tebow's birthday yesterday?
Not a dadgum thing.
Come on, man.
Come on, it's Tim Tebow's birthday. I mean, it should be a national holiday, to be honest with you.
I mean, it should be like President's Day, but
just better.
Just Tim Tebow. Yeah,
right.
but better. No, nothing, huh?
Are we talking about the baseball player Tim Tebow?
We're talking about Timmy Terrific, home run Timmy, touchdown Timmy, all of it, all the above.
Yeah, the double-A All-Star.
The great American. Timothy Richard Tebow.
Yeah.
Me.
Now, you guys said you were going to talk a little bit about training camp. I don't know if you were listening earlier in the show, but we had our overreaction preseason. How high are you guys on Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and Saquon Barkley right now?
Red, you go ahead.
Well, I already know what Tom is going to say about Barkley, but
you're dadgum right.
Darnold, I'm not too high on him. I think he'll end up starting just because, what other choice do you have there, really? Teddy B might make it on the field. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Baker, to me, sounds like I don't know if they're even going to give him a shot. It sounds like they're kind of just almost redshirting him, making him take the whole year off, maybe just because they said, I think it was either today or yesterday, it said something about him not even getting first team reps at all during the preseason, which. You don't like to hear that, but yeah, Saquon, I think has a really good chance at winning Offensive Rookie of the Year and being a fantasy darling, maybe.
Now, do you think the Giants have done enough refurbishing of that offensive line for him to really get rolling through 16 games a season?
See, my thing is the Browns and the Giants are two teams that I've watched extremely close. This offseason, I love what they did with the line. They brought in they pretty much fortified the left side of the line when they drafted Hernandez and they brought in Soldier. So I really enjoy what they did. I mean, you got a healthy Odell coming back, but as far as Barkley's concerned, the dude I was real high off. I think the Browns should have taken him number 1 overall, and if they were worried about Baker falling, I think he would have failed a 4. And that's originally what I wanted them to do. At that spot, I wanted to take Barkley number 1 overall, and then whatever other quarterback was left at 4. So Barkley's going to get hits. He's going to get his touches. I would be surprised if he I feel like he's going to sniff maybe 290 touches. Possibly 3, especially in the passing game.
Yeah.
Because I know the dude can catch the ball. Like I said, I think I agree with Red. I think the potential to have a Rookie of the Year season is astronomical.
Yeah. Also with him, I think almost more than all. I mean, obviously the offensive line is important. But I think almost more than that, his success is going to be directly correlated with which Eli Manning is on the field this year. Because if Eli Manning's just having a terrible year again, teams are just going to stack the box, and you can have as good of a line as you want and stack the box. You're not going to do anything. So if he can get it connected with Odell, Evan Ingram, some of those other weapons on the field, open it up for the pass game, which will also open it up for the run. So I think his success is definitely be dependent on Eli Manning for sure.
Here, I got one other rookie that I want you to get a bit of your insight on. So Jalen Ramsey comes out and he says that Josh Allen is trash, and he didn't know what the Bills were doing. They wasted their pick. What are your thoughts on that? You think he's trash?
So I'm not high on him.
Yeah, I don't think any of us were, honestly. Coming out of Wyoming, he's got arm talent, but that's it.
Yeah, I saw that interview you were talking about. I think some of the stuff. Obviously, Jalen Ramsey's going to be Jalen Ramsey. He's gonna say some outlandish things, but at the core of what he was saying, I don't disagree with. I mean, a lot of what he was saying was Josh Allen did not perform well against the big-time teams when he's actually playing against guys that are probably going to be the NFL talents, and he didn't play well against them. So I see where he's coming from, and I agree. I might have just not made the comments that he made.
Yeah.
Especially if I know millions of people are going to see it.
Yeah, those were pretty harsh comments. Probably a little overboard, but he is a Florida State guy,
He is a Florida
so you
State
got to
guy.
expect that.
You can't expect much from there.
True.
Hey, so one more thing before we let you guys go. I want to get your all's take on this. Okay, so Rehab Sports Guys says Minnesota's going to the Super Bowl. So that's from the Rehab Sports Guys, but that's not what I was going to ask you about. The Lions announced today that they're going to do something called a power hour, an hour before the game starts or an hour before. Like, they're trying to get people into the stadium early. I guess the Lion fans don't show up well at the beginning of a game. So they're going to have, like, $3 beers, $3 mixed drinks, $4 hot dog and soda combos. Is that something that would get you guys to go into the stadium earlier, or are you still going to chill out at your tailgate?
Red.
It's a good question.
It was Dom perked up when they mentioned the Lions. I'm just saying.
So you still have to buy the ticket, right? That's my thing.
Yeah, you can't just go to the game. Like, I'm just here for the hot dogs and the beer, man. I'll leave after the power hour is over. You got my word.
Real quick, I got a question for y'all. This has been on my mind all day that I wanted to ask y'all.
All day.
Okay.
I'm glad we're running through your minds all day.
Looks like Rico, Uncle Rico.
Yes, yes, he does.
I mean, Andrew Luck and Uncle Rico.
Okay.
They're brothers.
One other person that he looks like.
Other than Uncle Rico, one other person he looks like?
Andrew Luck?
Yeah.
I think he looks like...
Currently with the mustache.
Well, I mean, he looked like Aaron Rodgers a little bit when Aaron Rodgers was rocking that little bit of that mustache.
He also looked like all of the dudes that were in my dad's secret VHS stash that I found that one time. He looked like all those dudes.
Yep, yeah, that was... okay, I'm glad you found that. I never saw those.
You never saw those VHS? Your dad didn't have that VHS stash?
I don't want to talk about it. I also think he kind of looks like the one dude from Super Troopers. It's the mustache. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he looks a lot like Ron Burgundy.
Oh yeah. Good one.
But he's missing the hair though. Ron Burgundy had that hair.
Minus the hair.
The hair helmet.
The hair helmet. Yes. A legend in his own right.
All right, guys. Exactly. Well, we appreciate you coming on. We look forward to listening to you guys. Make sure you guys tune in 9:30 Eastern Standard Time or 8:30 Central Time. Get yourself a beer, get yourself something good to eat, and come back in a half hour after we're off the air.
Yeah, trim your mustache and then listen to the We Talk Sports
Good Guys. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good night. Have a good show.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, so that sounds like an exciting show. Can't wait to listen to that on my way home from Scout Team Sports Studios. And now I want to go into real quick Chris America's Dummy All-Star.
All right, Dummy All-Star, what do you got?
So Kyle, you've been in that situation before. Maybe you were at the club or you were at a bar, you and your buddies are drinking, and then they close the bar down, right?
I've heard of it.
And you got
I've had that happen a lot.
And you're not ready to finish partying, right? So you want to stop at the convenience store, grab a few packs of beer, and take the party to your house.
Yes.
So here's the problem with that, though. I know in Florida, here in Seminole County where we live, you got to make that purchase before 2 a.m., right?
This is true.
Well, apparently in San Sebastian, Florida, it is 1 a.m., and our boy Christopher Maxwell, 33 years old, decides he's going to stroll into a speedway at 2:30. And he goes up to the store clerk and he's like, "Hey, I want to buy some beer." And she's like, "Oh, you can't. It's 2:30. It's 1 o'clock." So what would you do in that situation?
It's not gay if it's in a speedway. So in that situation, I would probably turn around and walk away with my tail between my legs.
You're just hanging low. Tell the boys like, "Hey, maybe we got some old beers in the back of the fridge that we totally forgot about."
Right? Yeah. There's some old Milwaukee's Best floating there at the bottom. I didn't want to drink it, but I guess I'll have to take this one for the team. I don't have another choice.
Yeah, good old good old Christopher says, so yeah, what would happen if I stole some of the beer instead?
So he asked the clerk.
He asked the clerk that.
Wow.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Why would he say that?
What would your response be if you're the clerk?
Well, if you steal it but leave the money and I can ring it up in the morning, it'd be all good. That's what I would say.
Right. That's a good point. She said I would call 911.
Call 911 because you stole beer?
Yeah.
Freaking clerk, man. What the hell?
So then Maxwell goes, okay. He weighed his options. He walks to the back, grabs 2 18-packs of Bud Light, and exited the store with them.
Nice.
I thought you had a drop coming.
Oh, no. I'm thinking of a good drop, but there really isn't one there.
So she calls 911, and you mentioned that you would just drop the money and go. I used to do 911 dispatch. We used to get that call all the time. Like, they'd be like, oh, a guy dropped $20 on the counter and left with a 18-pack of beer. And the cops really aren't going to do anything about that.
Yeah, like, what are you going to do?
Like, they didn't steal it. They're not going to go chase you down because you made a purchase after 2. So that's what our boy Christopher should have done, but he decided to steal it instead. So,
well, sometimes I don't carry cash. That could be the problem.
Now, what would you do if you stole something and you know that the person's going to call the police? Like, what would you do next?
Disappear.
And what?
Car.
A car, right? Not Christopher. He decides to walk away. So the police catch up to him about a quarter of a mile. He still has the beer.
He's got to be drunk off his ass. He's got to be. There's no other way.
He's got 1 beer in each hand, 18-pack. And the police report says, upon exiting my patrol vehicle, I gave
That's what she said.
Yeah. I gave several commands to Maxwell to stop walking, but he refused, and he took a bladed stance towards me. Now, does that mean like he pulled out a sword?
Yeah, like he's kind of in that, like, I'm going to fight you, and I'm kind of like half-cocked, like, I don't know.
Now, I'm trying to picture this with 2 18-packs, because 18-packs are heavy. And 1 in each hand, I don't know how good I'm going to be able to fight, like, with 1 in each hand. I've done Edward 40 hands, but I've never done Edward 18-pack hands.
Yeah, that's too much. Those are, I mean, unless he had already started drinking some of them, maybe lightened them up a little bit.
So the fight was on, and Maxwell snatched the officer's shoulder radio off and attempted to punch him before he was taken to the ground and handcuffed. Now, do you think that, like, Christopher was at a party and they're like, dude, we need more beer? Like, and Christopher's like, okay, I'll go get more beer, guys. And they're like, dude, do not come back to this party without any beer. Do you think that's why he was so committed to bringing this beer home?
No, I think he was just drunk and stupid and did not know what he was doing.
Well, that $32 of beer will cost him $16,000. That's what his bail was set at.
Wow.
So
yeah, dummy America right there.
Dummy all-star, man. If you're going to buy beer after 2 or after whatever your legal hours are, just drop a 20 or a 40 down. Always leave extra so that way you're kind of tipping the clerk, too, for the illegal deal that just went down, and move on with life.
Man, I'm with you 100%. All right, hey, Chris America, you ready for some hashtag Oversolid?
I'm ready for some hashtag Oversolid.
Now, we started 2 or 3 minutes late, so we can finish 2 or 3 minutes late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what she said.
I got to get faster with that. Sorry. We're working on this. This is coming together.
Come together.
Yeah.
Right now. Oprah Solid.
Woo.
What's your Oprah Solid?
All right, my Oprah Solid tonight. I'm going to have to, you know what? I'm going to go back a little bit here. Earlier in the show, we were talking about a birthday. So, Chris America, we are a couple hours away from your birthday. So, for you, sir, you are my hashtag Oprah Solid tonight. Happy birthday, my friend.
Thanks, man. Just a couple more hours left of being 34.
Once you hit 35, it's all downhill.
All downhill.
Oh, yeah, trust me, I know. Yeah, it's all downhill. Actually, after I hit 20, it was maybe 15. Anyway, that's a different story.
My Oprah Solid, we talked about a lot of people that I wanted to make Oprah Solid. Oprah Solid to Tim Tebow. Oprah Solid to the president of Maryland.
Yeah, Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks, Oprah Solid. You
Lamp.
love her. Oprah Solid to the lamp. Now, my Oprah Solid's got to be
UCF.
Anger Management Steve.
Hey, Anger Management Steve, man, that
so
guy would
committed
go off.
to your anger.
Oh,
that
man.
You throw glass at somebody and send it. Did he go to jail?
No, because it was the roommate. Afterwards, the roommate said because
Like,
when he went to the hospital
to the RA.
So we take him to the hospital, and he's obviously has this giant gash on his forehead. And they said, "What happened to you?" And he says, "Someone threw a glass at me." And then they said, "We're going to call the police. Do you want to press charges?" And I think he backed off and said, "No, I don't want to press charges. I'm going to try to work this out." Which was super nice because he could have been kicked out of school. Like things like that could happen. So, yeah, that was a pretty messy situation. But that's what college is for. Hanging out with the kids getting in fights, blood everywhere. That rug that got we had bought a brand new area rug. It wasn't a nice one, but college kids didn't have any money, so we have this nice little area rug in the middle of the living room. It was trash. My Dreamcast, I remember getting blood all on it, and I was so pissed. I was like,
your
dude,
Dreamcast.
I was killing it on Tony Hawk, the original Tony Hawk on the Dreamcast, and I didn't want them to mess up my game, and now it's got blood on it. I had to get Clorox cleanup wipes and trying to disinfect, get that thing all cleaned up. So that's how it rolls. All right, man.
Hey guys, it's me, Anthony's male aficionado guy. How you guys doing? I just wanted to give an Oprah solid.
All right, Anthony's male aficionado inner self. What do you got tonight as your hashtag Oprah solid?
I gotta give it to Shamar Moore. He's so salty and sweet and just so central on Criminal Minds. I just love him so much. He's so juicy.
Oh, okay. I thought you liked that Wakandan guy. Do you like him too?
I like him too, but Oprah solid. I was watching Criminal Minds, and he's just so delicious.
Wow, great one, Anthony's inner male aficionado. I appreciate you chiming in.
Yeah,
and
toodles.
Toodaloo. I don't even know what else to say to that. All right. Listeners out there and people that will be listening to We Talk Sports Good and all the 12-ounce sports radio listeners, we want to thank you guys for another great show.
Tune in next week where we'll discuss which ways Anthony will give us empty threats for making fun of him tonight.
I'll fight you.
The guy always says that. Always fighting people.
I'll fight you.
I'm a tough guy.
I'm so cool, man.
I take the blue pill Viagra.
All right, peace out.
Peace out.